I am not Batman.
Turn it up, throw down your motherfucking door.
Hey guys, what is up? Otaku Mike here, doing a review for you today. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. It always helps. Views, like, dislike, click that way, or click that way, or click that way to subscribe. If you're new to the channel and you like my content, it's always cool. But today, we are looking at the movie adaptation of probably one of the coolest Elseworld DC Comics stories ever. We are looking at Batman Gotham by Gaslight. Bam, right there. If you don't know what the Elseworlds is, they're basically alternate one-shots set in alternate universes throughout the DC universe, like the 52 different worlds that they have. They're pretty interesting. They're always short, and sometimes they do get sequels occasionally. This is probably one of the most popular because it is the first Elseworlds comic, and they started out with Batman. Batman Gotham by Gaslight, it is really popular. It was done, the story was written by Brian Ostegui, and art was done by the legendary artist Mike Mignola. I can never say his name properly. This story basically takes place in Gotham City during the 19th century. Batman has just come onto the table. He's new to the whole crime fighting thing, and he is basically trying to track down Jack the Ripper, which is interesting because Jack the Ripper is technically a real thing in our history. We never found out who Jack the Ripper really was, I believe, in our history. But it's really interesting to see the DC universe encapsulate Jack the Ripper as a whole. Because you get to see basically Jack the Ripper through Batman's point of view and through Gotham City's point of view. Because he's basically almost like Batman's equal, or the other side of the coin for Batman, or what Batman could become. But yeah, this story was really interesting. I've read the comic a long time ago. The comic's like 30 years old. It came out in 1989. But, the movie does a very, very good adaptation of the comic book. It does change a few things here and there. Particularly the big thing it changes, because the comic book is only one issue. It adds some characters and adds some stuff into the story. It doesn't hurt that they added things into this particular story. But they do change who the identity of Jack the Ripper is. That's actually not a bad thing, because I was honestly really surprised who Jack the Ripper ended up being in this movie. Because I know the source material pretty well. And it was interesting that they changed who it was. It was more impactful, I feel like, in the movie than it was in the comic book. But, they do add some things here and there with other characters. It was interesting to see some of the other characters, of the other Batman characters in this, and how they are adapted for the 19th century, and also how Batman himself is put into the 19th century, all the gadgets and stuff that he has, because he's not that high tech. He actually uses like throwing knives and stuff. He really uses batarangs. But he has some of his gadgets. He goes around in a horse and carriage. That's his Batmobile. But yeah, it was really interesting. I felt like they captured Mike Mignola's artwork very well, because he has a very distinct art style. He uses a lot of blacks and blues in the particular comic, Gotham by Gaslight. And it was really interesting to see, like, they captured his art pretty well within the parameters of an animated movie. You know, obviously, it always can't be perfect, but I feel like it came close to perfect when it came to capturing the artwork of the original source material. The story was done very well. It left me, it left me on the edge of my seat, like, you know, oh, like, I wonder what's gonna happen next, because things are changed here and there. But yeah, it was enjoyable. I really like it because it was kind of like a murder mystery, almost horror aspects to the story, and I thought that transferred over very well. And it actually is fairly violent and the action is very visceral. When it comes down to the action scenes, they do get pretty violent. I would not recommend a child to watch this because it is rated R. It does get pretty violent at some points when you see Jack Ripper going around killing people, and Batman's pretty brutal when it comes to his fight scenes. It was pretty cool. It was interesting to see him teaming up with Selena Kyle and how she fit into this whole world and how she was trying to get Jack the Ripper and stuff like that. But yeah, you know, the DC movies can be hit or miss sometimes. The DC animated movies, I guess I should say, can be hit or miss. This one, I would say, is a hit for me. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I thought it was a very well adapted movie from the source material. It was almost perfect. There are things about it that you know, because it is just a one shot. You only had to add in new things that weren't from the source material, but it's not like anything bad. You know, it was all decent. But yeah, I haven't liked a DC animated movie in quite a while. I feel like they got kind of stale at some points, but I would like to see them tackle another Elseworlds movie. I want to see them tackle Red Sun. Is it Red Sun, the one with where Superman works with the Russians or the Nazis? I want to see that. But yeah, Gotham by Gaslight was actually pretty good. For a 78-minute movie, it kept me entertained. And I totally recommend Gotham by Gaslight. Go check it out. It's a fun mystery that will probably leave you on the edge of your seats, just like me. Thanks a lot, guys. I'm Otaku Mike. I'll catch you later.